What's going on? It's hashtag AskLauren. I thought I would just go on to YouTube and do another speed round. Then we get more bang for our buck. We get more done in one video, right? So whenever you have questions you want to ask me, leave them in the comments below with the hashtag AskLauren, because I could just search those comments and it's so easy. Oh, I was talking about, I guess, manifestation and visualization and focusing on what it is that you want. And then someone in response asked, oh, hi there, Snickle. They asked, do you think this would work with a person, like a person who's come into your life and your family that you don't get good vibes from and don't trust, and this person is rude and says hurtful things to you? Could I visualize them being nice and us getting along, or does it not always work that way? So this is obviously like a more challenging instance of using visualization and focus, but it does work because there is no exception to it not working. Like, you will get whatever it is you're focusing on. So especially in relationships, friendships, with family members, etc. Okay, Snickle, what do you want? You're just gonna bug me the whole time? I think he wants food. Snickle, don't bite me. He's biting me. Are you gonna be a part of this or not? So basically when it comes to relationships, it's even more important to focus on the qualities that you do like in somebody or the outcome that you do want from somebody. Now it's interesting because I'm still having a hard time with this too, where I'm trying to figure out, like, well, by doing that, I somehow can't change the way somebody is, right? They still have to be willing to change. But it's all about perspective. So I think it's that if you sit and focus on the things that you do like and the qualities that you do like and the behavior that you do want from that person, then maybe it's easier to sort of find and notice in any given situation. So it is supposed to work that way. I listened to some Abraham videos, which you can find in my recommended playlist, that talk about this, where it's like with an intimate partner, you are supposed to focus on the qualities that you do like, not the qualities that you don't like, in order to get more of what you do like, right? And I do tend to sway. I know everyone's always like, oh, you're so positive, and I am a positive person for the most part, and I always like to see, I guess, the good in things, but I'm also I really can easily see the negative in a lot of things a lot of the time, and I'm very quick to react and very quick to jump to conclusions. So sometimes I do tend to just like let the little things bother me, like, oh, John doesn't clean the dishes the right way or whatever, like stupid stuff that doesn't matter. Like ultimately that doesn't even matter, so I shouldn't be focusing on it. So I try to focus on the qualities that I do like about him, which are obviously bigger and better things, like personality traits and qualities that he is like reliable and loyal and all these other things, rather than like nitpicking all of these little tiny things. So when it comes to rude family members and things like that, yes, they shouldn't be rude and you would love to probably tell them off, but I think in order to get the outcome that you do want, which is if this is like your partner's or your partner's parents or your in-laws or something like that, you kind of just need to get along with them. So you should probably visualize how you want the relationship to be, like how harmonious and fun and interesting it will be, and see if that works, because it should work. There should be nothing stopping whatever it is you're focusing on from happening. But you always have to check in, because a lot of the time we're not really focusing on what we want, we're focusing on what's currently happening, and what's currently happening is something we often don't like, or we see it as lacking something, and that is really what we are focusing on, and that's why we get more of that. So you really do have to go deep and like pick that apart with a fine-tooth comb to really recognize what is it that I am focusing on. So that was from Mallykins. Now this is again kind of in response to that same type of question where I was talking about manifestation and the law of attraction. Megan Waters says, do you think it's possible to change your personality? What do you think is the best way to change parts of your personality? Well, this might be tough because I don't know what you're referring to, and if it's something about like you don't like something about yourself, are you being judgmental towards yourself and not loving yourself and just accepting yourself for who you are? Or is it really a quality that is like hindering your personal interactions or your job or all these other things? It's interesting because I actually did spend a really long time, I think, going about something the wrong way. Like I think that I wasn't just accepting of who I am, and I hate the fact that I get angry really easily. And I talk about this in this other video that I'll link to. So for a couple of years in doing all of this spiritual work and reading books and doing meditation, I felt like I was trying to change that part of myself. But I found it very difficult to change that part of myself because it's kind of just who I am. Now, is it right for me to lash out and get mad at people easily? Not people, but certain people in my life. No, there's definitely better ways of going about it. But it's also that it's that feistiness or that fieriness about me that actually is a good thing in a lot of situations. Except sometimes it kind of gets out of alignment and I end up snapping at John or somebody because I'm so mad about nothing and I'm all discombobulated, and in that case that sort of fire isn't good. But it is who I am, and I've just recently realized I've spent the last couple of years trying to change something about myself that doesn't really need to be changed. It's something that just needs to be fine-tuned, and I just need to become really hyper self-aware of it so that I can catch myself in these moments when it is coming out in a negative way as opposed to like a positive way. Because I would say my fieriness, my anger, all of that stuff, it actually is a positive thing in more ways than it is not. So there are certain things about all of us, each of us as individuals, that we might not like about ourselves, but I think at the end of the day we have to accept the fact that they are the way we are in a lot of cases. And I'm kind of tied with this one because I don't know if you should want to change something about your personality. And like, why do you want to change it? Because we're supposed to have self-acceptance and self-love before anyone else can love us, right? Or before anybody else can accept us. So if you don't like that part of yourself, then you might be having these conflicts with people or whatever, but not because of them or because of something they don't like about you, but because you don't like yourself. So that's where I'm kind of stuck on this question of like, I don't really think you should want to change something about who you truly are, but learn to love it and learn to work with it is more my answer for that, I think. Somebody said, I'm curious about what rare things had happened to you on your spiritual path. Are you not afraid of people calling you weird? Have you seen Sense8 from Netflix? Okay, that's from Layla. I haven't watched Sense8, although I've seen it. I just haven't gone around to watching it. Am I afraid of people calling me weird? Okay, yes. I would say at the beginning of doing like all this meditation and like sharing some of the experiences that I had, and when I talk about experiences that I've had, I mean things that I've seen in meditation, like feelings and visuals and things that have come to me, messages that have come to me from my higher self and all of these things. Of course I was like, didn't really want to talk about that with everybody, and I still really don't. I mean, obviously I share it on YouTube, but a lot of people in my actual life don't even listen to what I'm saying on these videos. It's just strangers. So in a weird way, I'm not really weirded out about sharing it with nobody like you. I know you're there, but I don't see you. I'm more weirded out by sharing it with people in my life where I think they are going to judge me, or they will think it's weird, or they'll think, oh, what's wrong with her? She's a Looney Tunes. Why are we hanging out with her? But I also have a group of really close friends where we actually do talk about these things and we can share these things, and we've experienced a lot of these things together, so it's okay and it's like a safe space to do that. But the more I talk about it, the less weird I think it actually is, and the more I realize that I talk about it here, the more I realize how many people out there are actually like, oh my god, I had the same thing happen, or I feel the same way, etc., etc. And we're all feeling these things, and I really think we just need to talk about them so that we don't feel weird and like we're all alone, because we're really not. And ultimately we all think the same things and feel the same things, and we're all one, so we should be sharing these experiences in order to expand our knowledge and expand our awareness. And I don't think did I refer to something? Did I refer to the rare things that happened to me on my spiritual path? I'm not sure that I did. I mean, nothing crazy has happened. Like, I've just experienced, I guess, meditation and sort of like the feelings and the buzzy energy, vibrational feelings of source energy. And the more that I practice meditation and the more that I get into that space, the more that I realize I'm just supposed to be there 100% of the time. And when I'm not there is when I'm actually having the problems in my life, or when I don't feel good or whatever. Like, actually right now I have this like really bad migraine, if you're noticing that my eyes are like really droopy. So that must have something to do with what? I don't know, some vibrational thing. Something is out of alignment. Sometimes I blame it on the weather and the rain, and it's really gray and it like affects my head. But anyway, I'm not sure if I answered your question. Am I afraid of people calling me weird? Not really. Queen Helena Marie said she's been meditating for about 6 months and it's life-changing. My only problem is I always fall asleep like halfway through. Is that normal? Is there a certain time of day I should be doing meditation? Not really. I mean, you should be doing it whenever you want to do it. Some people say after you wake up in the morning might be better, and that way you wouldn't fall asleep again. But I don't think there's any like right or wrong to this. I think if you're falling asleep halfway through, maybe you're just tired and that's okay. You need more rest. and so you're falling asleep. I still think that you're gaining some benefit by just being still and not thinking if you're actually falling asleep, right? So I would just maybe try a different time of day. Like if you're doing it in the evening and you're falling asleep because you're closer to bedtime, then maybe try doing it in the morning or in the middle of the day so that you don't fall asleep. But again, I fall asleep sometimes and sometimes I don't, and I kind of just look at it like, oh, I guess I'm tired and I need more rest, so it's okay, but that still helps and I still feel good, so it must have worked, right? So that's kind of my only measure for like meditation and like the right way to do it. There really is, I don't think, a right way. Like you'll see articles like what you've been doing wrong in meditation and stuff like that. And I don't know, I think you just gotta find your own flow a little bit and find your own way a little bit, and like not everything that everyone says works for them is gonna work for you. So try many things, as I still try many things, and sometimes I'm just like, ugh, I don't like that. I mean, I haven't even where are we right now? We're like at the beginning of January almost, and I haven't really been meditating just because of the holidays have been so busy, and I probably should have been meditating this whole time, but I've actually felt pretty good and relaxed, and I haven't had a lot to do, so I just kind of felt like I didn't fit it in. I don't know, I've just been actually sleeping more than anything. So anyway, do what works for you. Everyone keeps asking me, what's your MBTI personality type? They have cool quizzes online. And someone else asked me, oh, the MYERS-BRIGGS type indicator. What's your personality? I think I did that test a long time ago. MYERS-BRIGGS test. Should we do it now? I've done this in school before, but I forget. Oh yeah, I think I'm ENTJ. I did this a long time ago. I'll do the quiz and then I'll tell you the answer in a second. So it's weird. Today I got INTJ, but I know in the past I've gotten ENTJ. And I don't know if one can be like in this category at the same time all the time. So it says you have slight preference of introversion over extroversion. You have moderate preference of intuition over sensing. You have slight preference of thinking over feeling. You have slight preference of judging over perceiving. Going back to that judging video I did the other day. INTJs are known as the systems builders of the types, perhaps because they possess the unusual trait combination of, the unusual trait of imagination and reliability. Both perfectionism and disregard for authority may come into play, as INTJs can be unsparing of both themselves and others on the project. Anyone considered to be slacking, including superiors, will lose their respect. Oh, that is so true. They tend to have little patience and less understanding of such things as small talk and flirtation. Okay, well anyways, I guess I'm an INTJ. But again, I think it's just like however I'm feeling at one time or another. One more question in this roundup and then we'll leave it at that. Okay, Betty Guyan said, have you ever eaten meat or dairy by accident or have felt tempted to eat it? P.S. Love your videos. Thanks, Betty. Have I ever eaten it by accident? Probably yes. I think that before I knew better, when I was more at the beginning of going vegan, even though I was vegan, I forgot and didn't realize that most miso soup at Japanese restaurants has bonito flakes in it, which is fish. So I was eating miso soup, not really knowing that there was fish in it for a long time. I don't eat it anymore. And I've definitely probably had butter on toast, like at a restaurant before, where I was like, told them not to butter it, and then they buttered it, and then I didn't want to complain. And I probably bit into it. Like this would have been like when I first became vegan and I wasn't as like strict. I mean, now if that happened, I wouldn't eat the butter. I would definitely return it or just not eat it. So for sure, I have at some points in the past, but no big whoop. And I think if you're just turned vegan, actually somebody asked me this question as well about, they were like, I went vegan and then for like 3 months, and then I was so hungry and I was really stressed out and this and that happened, and then I ate chicken. And they felt terrible and they thought that every vegan was gonna come fucking slay them, and that's not gonna happen. And if it does, those people need to just chill the hell out, because you just went vegan and you're used to being able to grab this chicken sandwich or whatever and just going on your business and not worrying about it. But now you're an evolved human and you're thinking differently and you're being more conscious of the things you put in your body, and so sometimes it's hard to stick with that and you might slip up, and no big whoop. Like, I just really think the person that approaches this the best, I think, and that's one of the books I read really early on, was Alicia Silverstone's The Kind Diet. And she actually splits up the book into like the hardcore vegan, like the macrobiotic vegan, and the cheegans, people call them, cheating vegans. Now, if you want to get nitpicky, I don't really think you can be vegan if you're constantly cheating. You can just be nothing. You can just mostly eat plant-based and whatever. And then other people will say, oh, well, you're not vegan if you still wear wool and leather and all this stuff. Whatever. Just stop labeling everything. I'm only taking on the vegan label because it helps me now identify like the brand of Hoffer Food and the brand of what we do. And like, we do make vegan food and we're vegan. But there doesn't need to be this like checklist of like, because I've said this before and I'm not gonna repeat it too much, but like, there is an evolution that happens from day one to, you know, your 20th year being vegan, I'm sure. I'm not even there yet. I'm only 6 years being vegan. But there's been a massive evolution from day one until now. Like I said, makeup and clothing and all that kind of stuff didn't really come until a couple years in. So just do what you want to do. I always say that. It's just like, do what you want to do. Quote me, that's all I care about. Do what you want to do. But do it with self-awareness and do it with heart and do it with consciousness, and that's all that matters, and you'll get to the next level when you get to the next level, and it's no big deal. So have I ever felt tempted to eat it? Yeah, like if I'm still, like I don't eat it, but if I'm at like a party or something and there's literally nothing I can eat and I see the hors d'oeuvres coming around like this and I'm friggin' hangry, I'm like, oh God, I just wish I could eat that. But I don't, because I don't eat that anymore. And then I just drink some water or have a vodka soda or whatever the heck, and then I wait till I can get food later. I don't find that inconvenient. I don't find that hard because it's the decision I made, and I don't really want to eat that thing that might have meat or dairy on it, but in the moment when I'm really hungry, I'm like, I wish I could just grab that and eat that. But I used to do that all the time, and I would eat so unconsciously all the time, and I'd be stuffing my face full of food that I didn't even like or taste or want, just because I just wanted to eat and satisfy probably some other issue. So anyways, yeah, like sometimes I look at things and I kind of go, oh, but really it's like, oh, I want to make that into a vegan version of that now, is like really how I think, is I go like, oh, or I could make that, like looks kind of disgusting, but I bet if I made that into a vegan version of that, it would be good. So that's more how I think now. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. Okay, that was a roundup version of #AskLauren. Thank you for asking so many awesome questions. You guys rock. How many subscribers do I have? This is crazy. Oh my God, we're at over 34,000. So thank you for watching, and more to come. More fun things in the new year, more videos, more vlogs, more #AskLauren every Friday. So leave in the comments below #AskLauren with your questions so I can find it in the comments. And we'll see you guys on Monday with another YouTube video that I don't know what it will be. Okay, peace out.